Success is not a gift. It's not handed to you on a silver platter by a smiling universe eager to see you thrive. No, success is a battlefield, a brutal, unrelenting war where the spoils go only to the warriors who dare to fight alone. It's a savage arena where the weak are crushed, the timid are trampled, and the lazy are left bleeding in the dust. You want to know why eagles fly alone? Because they don't waste their time flapping around with the pigeons. They don't clutter their wings with the timid, the lazy, or the uninspired. They don't grovel in the dirt with the weak-willed or beg for scraps with the complacent. They don't lower themselves to the squabbling, petty chaos of the flock. They soar above the noise, above the crowd, above the excuses, majestic, solitary, and unstoppable, a force of nature that bows to no one. And if you want to rise to the heights of your potential, you'd better carve this into your soul with a jagged blade. The path to greatness is a solitary one, and it demands every drop of blood, sweat, and fire you've got. There's no shortcut, there's no safety net, there's no one coming to save you. It's you against the world, raw, real, and unforgiving, and you'd better be ready to win, because losing isn't an option for those who dare to fly. Let's get one thing straight right now. Most people don't want success. They don't. They say they do, sure. They talk a good game at dinner parties, sipping their cheap wine, nodding sagely as if they've got it all figured out. They post their half-baked dreams on social media for a handful of likes from strangers they don't even respect, preening like they're on the verge of something big. But when the alarm clock screams at 5 a.m., when the work gets hard, when the sacrifices start piling up like a mountain of broken promises, they fold, they crumble like dry leaves underfoot. They retreat to the comfort of the flock, where mediocrity wraps them in a warm, suffocating blanket of sameness, a soft prison they'll never escape because they lack the guts to break free. That's not you, that's not the person reading this. You're here because you've got fire in your gut, a hunger that gnaws at you relentlessly, a restless ache that won't let you settle for the ordinary, the safe, or the small. But hunger alone won't cut it. Hunger without action is just noise, a hollow echo in an empty cave. You've got to act like an eagle, fierce, focused, and unafraid to leave the crowd choking on your dust. The flock can stay behind, clucking about what's possible, whining about what's fair. You're not here to debate possibilities. You're here to show them what's inevitable when a warrior decides to rise. The eagle doesn't beg for permission. It doesn't wait for the wind to be just right, or for the sky to clear like some timid sparrow afraid of a drizzle. It doesn't sit around hoping for a gentle breeze or a sunny day to make its move. It takes off when it decides to take off. Storm or calm, rain or shine, and it flies higher than the rest, because it knows its own strength, raw, unyielding, forged in the crucible of its own will. You've got to find that strength in yourself. Stop looking around for approval like a child, waiting for a pat on the head from a teacher who doesn't care. Stop waiting for someone to hold your hand or whisper that it's okay to succeed, as if you need their blessing to claim what's yours. The world doesn't owe you a cheering section. It doesn't owe you a damn thing, not a chance, not a break, not a single breath of encouragement. The universe isn't your nanny, and it's not your friend. If you want to fly, you build your own wings through discipline that cuts like a blade, through flesh, through effort that breaks your limits like a sledgehammer through stone, through relentless determination that laughs in the face of despair, and you launch yourself into the storm. The storm doesn't scare the eagle, it fuels it. It sharpens its edges, hardens its resolve, and lifts it higher. Let it fuel you, let it temper you into something unbreakable. Why do eagles fly alone? Because they don't have time for weakness. The flock is a cesspool of complainers, doubters, and dream killers, pathetic souls who drag each other down into the muck of their own cowardice. You know the type. People who tell you to slow down, to be realistic, to stop dreaming so big because your ambition makes them feel small, insignificant, and exposed. They're not evil, they're just terrified, gutless shadows of what they could have been, clinging to each other for comfort in their shared defeat. They're scared of their own potential, so they try to clip your wings to keep you at their level, trapped in their sad little cage of fear and regret. Don't let them, cut them loose, not out of arrogance, not out of spite, but out of cold, hard necessity, because you're not here to babysit their insecurities. You can't carry dead weight to the top of the mountain. You can't drag the anchors of their doubt while you're clawing your way to the sky. Surround yourself with those who push you, who challenge you, who force you to grow, or better yet, learn to thrive on your own. The eagle doesn't need a committee to decide its destiny. It doesn't need a vote. a consensus, or a round of applause from a bunch of flapping fools. Neither do you. You decide, you act, you rise, and if the flock can't keep up, that's their problem, not yours. Discipline is your fuel. You think success happens by accident. You think the eagle just stumbles into the sky, tripping over its own talons like some clumsy clown. No, it's a choice, a brutal, daily grind, a refusal to let the small stuff derail the big picture. Most people live their lives like leaves in the wind, blown around by circumstances, emotions, and distractions, helpless and drifting toward nothing, a meaningless blur of wasted days. Not you. You've got to be the pilot of your own life, gripping the controls with iron hands, steering through turbulence with unshakable focus. That means waking up early, when every fiber of your body screams for sleep, when the bed feels like a lover begging you to stay. That means studying when you'd rather scroll through meaningless garbage online, numbing your mind with the trivia of the trivial. That means working when others play, grinding when others rest, pushing when others quit, and collapse into excuses. Discipline isn't sexy, it's not fun, it's not a motivational poster with a sunset and a catchy quote to make you feel warm and fuzzy. It's a cold, hard hammer that forges winners out of dreamers, a relentless machine that turns raw desire into unbreakable steel. It's the difference between the eagle soaring above the clouds, commanding the heavens, and the pigeon pecking at crumbs in the gutter, scavenging for survival. You want to soar? Then wield that hammer like a weapon. Swing it every day until your hands bleed, until your will is forged into something the world can't bend. Let's talk about fear for a minute. Fear is the flock's favorite weapon, a rusty chain they wrap around their own necks to stay grounded, huddled together, whispering about what could go wrong, trembling at shadows they'll never face. The eagle doesn't negotiate with fear. It doesn't bargain or plead, or cower like a whipped dog. It stares it down, spreads its wings, and flies straight through it, talons bared and eyes blazing with defiance. You've got fear. I get it. We all do. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of standing out too much in a world that loves conformity and punishes the bold. Here's the truth. Those fears don't go away by avoiding them. They don't vanish with positive thinking, a warm cup of tea, or a pep talk from someone who's never fought the fight. They shrink when you confront them head on, when you smash through them like a battering ram through a rotting gate. Every time you push past what scares you, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to back down, you build the muscle of courage. Tough, sinewy, unbreakable, a force that no storm can shatter. The eagle flies alone because it's not afraid to face the wind, to battle the tempest, to defy the odds with every beat of its wings. You want to soar? Stop running from the hard stuff. Stop hiding behind excuses or waiting for the fear to fade. It won't. Run toward it. Crush it underfoot. Rip it apart with your bare hands until it's nothing but a memory you've conquered. Sacrifice is non-negotiable. You don't get to have it all, not at first, anyway, and maybe not ever, because greatness doesn't compromise. The eagle doesn't waste its energy chasing every shiny thing in the sky, flitting around like a distracted fool, squandering its strength on fleeting pleasures. It picks its targets, precise, deliberate, deadly, and pursues them with everything it's got. A predator, with no patience for indecision. You've got to do the same. What are you willing to give up? Late nights with friends who add nothing to your life but noise and distraction. Hours of mindless TV that numbs your brain and dulls your edge. The comfort of a safe, predictable routine that keeps you small, soft, and insignificant. Success demands a trade, a ruthless, no-mercy exchange of the good for the great, the easy for the extraordinary. And don't kid yourself. It's going to hurt. It's going to burn. You're going to miss out on some things. Parties you won't attend, sleep you won't get, comforts you'll leave behind. People are going to call you obsessed, selfish, or crazy, shaking their heads as if you've lost your mind. Let them. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. The burning vision, the relentless pull of something bigger. The eagle doesn't apologize for its focus, doesn't explain itself to the flock below. Neither should you. Sacrifice isn't a loss, it's an investment, and the return is a life they can't even imagine. Vision is your compass. Without it, you're just flapping around, wasting energy, a bird with no direction crashing into every obstacle. The eagle doesn't fly aimlessly. It knows where it's going, its eyes locked on the horizon with lethal clarity. What's your target? What's the one thing that keeps you up at night, that drives you when everything else falls apart? that lights a fire in your chest when the world goes cold. If you don't know, figure it out. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, now, right now. Write it down. Make it clear, sharp, and undeniable. Then burn it into your mind until it's the only thing you see when you close your eyes, the only thing that matters when the noise of the world tries to drown it out. The flock doesn't have vision, they just follow the bird in front of them, a mindless chain of followers stumbling toward nowhere. You're not the flock, you're the eagle. You set the course, you chart the path, and you don't stop until you get there, no matter how long it takes, or how hard the wind blows against you. Time is your most ruthless enemy. It doesn't care about your dreams or your excuses. It doesn't pause for your doubts, or wait for your procrastination. It ticks on second by second, minute by minute, an unstoppable force that devours the unprepared. The eagle doesn't squander its days. It hunts, it builds, it flies, always moving forward, always seizing the moment with relentless purpose. You've got to treat time like the precious, fleeting resource it is. Stop saying you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow's a lie. People tell themselves to feel better about doing nothing today, a coward's lullaby that rocks them to sleep while their dreams rot. The graveyard is full of dreams that died, waiting for tomorrow, buried under headstones of someday, and if only. If you want to fly, you start now, right now, this minute. Take one step, make one call, write one line, do something, anything, that moves you closer to your goal. The eagle doesn't wait for perfect conditions, it flies because it's time to fly, because the hunt is on, because the sky belongs to those who claim it. Claim it now, or watch it slip through your fingers forever. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. The eagle doesn't crash and give up, doesn't sulk in the dirt licking its wounds. It learns, adjusts, and takes off again, smarter and stronger than before. You're going to fall, you're going to mess up. Good, that's how you grow, that's how you sharpen your talons and toughen your wings. The flock hates failure, they see it as proof they should stay grounded, a convenient excuse to never try again. You've got to see it differently. Every stumble is a lesson, every scar a badge, every rejection a redirection to something better. The only real failure is quitting, and eagles don't quit, they adapt, they endure, they keep going, no matter how many times the wind slams them down. So when the world knocks you flat, and it will get up faster than you fell, dust off your wings, square your shoulders, and fly again. The height of your success will be measured by the depth of your resilience, by how many times you refuse to stay broken. Why do eagles fly alone? Because they trust themselves. The flock leans on each other, hoping someone else will figure it out, praying for a leader to save them from their own weakness. The eagle leans on its own instincts, its own power, its own will, a solitary titan that needs no crutch. You've got to trust yourself too. Stop doubting your ability to make it. Stop second-guessing every move like you're not worthy of the fight. You've got what it takes, maybe not all the answers, not yet, but the guts to find them, the spine to keep searching when the path gets dark. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's clarity. It's knowing that even if you don't have it all figured out, you'll fight until you do, clawing your way to the truth with every ounce of strength you've got. The eagle doesn't ask the wind if it's good enough. It flies because it knows it is, because it was born to rule the sky. You've got to know it too, deep in your bones, where no one can shake it. Let's talk about effort. Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing. The eagle doesn't glide to the top of the sky on a whim. It climbs, it battles, it earns every inch through sheer unyielding force. You want success, you'd better be ready to work harder than you've ever worked, to push beyond what you think you can endure. Not for a week or a month but for years, decade after decade, if that's what it takes. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Flip that around. Push yourself daily, relentlessly, but play the long game with the patience of a predator. Stack your efforts like bricks, one on top of the other day after day, until you've built something unbreakable, a monument to your will that the world can't ignore. The eagle's flight isn't a sprint, it's a marathon of power and persistence, a testament to what happens when you refuse to stop. Yours has to be too. No half measures, no excuses, just work, raw, brutal, and unending. The world doesn't reward the timid, it doesn't bow to the hesitant, or the half-committed, doesn't toss laurels at those who dip their toes and run back to safety. It respects strength, boldness, and action, qualities forged in the fire of those who dare to stand alone. The eagle flies alone because it's not afraid to claim its place in the sky, to seize what it's earned with blood and fury. You've got to claim yours. Stop shrinking to fit in with a flock that's going nowhere. Stop apologizing for your ambition, as if wanting more is a crime. The flock will peck at you, criticize you, try to pull you back down with their petty jealousy and small-minded squawking. Let them. You're not here to blend in, you're here to stand out, to tower over the noise, to build something extraordinary that echoes beyond your years. That's what eagles do. That's what you're going to do, because settling for less isn't in your blood. Here's the bottom line. Flying alone isn't lonely, it's liberating. It's the freedom to chase your own horizon, to live by your own rules, to become the fullest, fiercest version of yourself without the weight of the flock dragging you down. The eagle doesn't need the flock's approval, doesn't care about their chatter or their judgment, neither do you. But freedom comes with a price, a steep, brutal price paid in sweat, in sacrifice, in sleepless nights, and relentless days. Pay it gladly, with every fiber of your being, because the view from the top, the life you'll build, the person you'll become, is worth every ounce of struggle, every tear, every scar. It's worth it, because it's yours, forged by your hands, won by your will. So why do eagles fly alone? Because they're built for it, because they choose it, because they refuse to settle for anything less than the sky, the whole damn sky, vast and wild, and theirs for the taking. You've got that same choice, right now, today. Spread your wings, leave the flock behind, choking on their own dust. Fly higher, fly stronger, fly alone. The world is waiting to see what you're made of, steel, fire, or ash. Show it steel, show it fire, show it you.